Is Marvila Lisbon's next big thing, or is it just a lot of hype? Let's find out before you invest. So you're thinking of moving to Lisbon, but you want something with a little edge. Loads of charm, art galleries, warehouses, where a startup will be right next to an art studio. It's laid back and the prices are the best. The prices are some of the best in all of Lisbon. It's a great investment opportunity right now. This is where Lisbon is headed next, but most expats don't even know it exists. This is Marvila. It's one of my very favorite neighborhoods in Lisbon. You'll find these enormous warehouses that have been turned into big multi-purpose buildings with restaurants, galleries, vintage stores, antique stores, co-working spaces, and just a wonderful energy. Most places are closed Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Gives you an idea of the energy and the vibe. It's very laid back. Marvila is a warehouse chic, art-filled, river-adjacent neighborhood filled with possibility. The good thing is that there's already been quite a bit of investment, so it makes your investment less risky. But there is a lot here to still be redone. Let's have a look here. Okay, let's just keep exploring the streets of Marvila. Charming little quirks. More dogs. Let's see. A club. Maybe a sports club. You can tell that people live here because their laundry's hanging out. And that says paddle and pickleball. So, look at these doors. I am short, but still, wow. Okay, way up that hill, about 2/3 of the way, is the loft space, Loft Marvila, where they often have the monthly vegan fest. Not every time, but probably about half the time. Okay, we're coming up on a CrossFit and art gallery, art studio, restaurant space. This looks like a palace, but I don't know. Let's see if we can tell when we get closer. Patrimonio Municipal. Okay, so it's a municipal building. I have no idea what sort of municipal building, but it's so clean and it's clean and fancy in the midst of all these warehouse spaces. See, you can see how close we are to the river. It's right there. There's a theater over there, small theater, as in live theater. There is a door. I don't know if that's a door to a commercial space, which it may very well be. Look at those spaces up there on. Very quirky. So Marvila is not for everyone, but if you like to be a part of something while it's becoming something bigger, it might be just for you. Or if you're creative and you want to be right in the midst of a lot of other creatives. So this is very industrial. Just on the other side of this is the river. Let's see how close we can get to the river. Have a look at that row of warehouse spaces. So we're still exploring Marvila. If you like the look and the feel of Marvila and you could see yourself living in a fixer-upper or a loft, maybe having art studio, place where you have your studio and you sleep, then Marvila might be a great fit for you. We would be happy to help you explore what's available. Just contact us. We have all of our contact information in the description below. We'd be happy to help you find an investment property, a building. We've worked with quite a few buildings in Marvila and Bito, which is right next to it. And this area, like I said, it's a lot like Brooklyn was back before it was completely gentrified. Art galleries, lofts, co-working spaces. It's a place where you can create something. I'm really not sure what we're gonna find down here because I've never been down here, but look at these old boats. I don't know if that's supposed to be art or exactly what, but pretty interesting. Now you see an actual legitimate ship down there. So this is a real port. This looks like someone may live there. We're walking toward the Vasco da Gama Bridge. I drove over that last weekend. So beautiful. I want to get that on video so I can share it. But I was by myself and I certainly did not want to have a wreck. So I'm gonna have to plan ahead so that I can get some great footage. It's just so beautiful. Okay, we're gonna be able to see some new construction. It looks like a mix of residential, maybe some commercial. Okay, there are a lot of people fishing. It's a good place to pass the time. Okay, bicycle rentals over there. So if you lived in Marvila, this would be at your doorstep. Okay, we're going to walk a little closer to the newer construction buildings and check it out. Being on one of those upper floors, can you just imagine being on one of those upper floors with that deep balcony and your outdoor furniture just relaxing and looking out over the river? People are biking all over, but there's a giant bike lane there. There's the river. Okay, let's go closer to the river again. The dogs. There's not much shade, but there's tiny little bit of shade right here. I'm gonna take advantage of it. So what are the pros and cons to living in Marvila? In Marvila, you'll find lower prices compared to central Lisbon for sure. Unique, character-filled properties, creative, authentic style. You have fast access to everywhere. So you're still in Lisbon, but you're just not in the hustle and bustle with all the tourists. So cons are, it is still industrial in some areas. There is definitely construction, so along with that comes construction noise. There's a bit of graffiti, but you'll find that in almost any urban setting. You know, limited green space, but when you do find green space, like this enormous park right at the river, it's great. And it's not a traditional family neighborhood yet. Although while exploring today, I've seen families all day, from baby carriages and papoose carriers to school-age kids rollerblading, little kids with their push bikes, certainly older kids playing soccer, riding bikes. So for Marvila, here in Lisbon, right next to the river, it's between Bito and Parque de Nechouage, and I have trouble pronouncing that. Anyway, I had a look at what the real estate is priced at today before I came out, and I have some notes. So the cheapest would be between 180 and 250,000, and that is a small one-bedroom apartment or an old apartment that needs full renovation. It's often in a low-rise building with no elevator, minimal views. It's a good option for investors or for those DIY renovators looking to flip. Okay, so personally, I love low-rise. I think if you look right down the street here, that's an example. Well, the ground floor is considered 0 if you're counting, and so that's one floor up would be floor 1, and then another floor up is floor 2. So it's a little different from how we describe the floors in the US. But that was an example of this price level. The most common pricing apparently is between 300,000 and 400,000 euros, which would get you a renovated 2-bedroom apartment in a mid-century building or a newer condo, sometimes, maybe even with a balcony. And it could include shared amenities like a rooftop, so you can relax, a communal space, maybe a gym. And then the most expensive would be 600,000 to 900,000, maybe even a little bit more sometimes, but generally 600 to 900. And that's going to get you a loft style apartment in a converted warehouse. That sounds dreamy to me. Or a new build. River facing penthouses, or maybe a 3-bedroom apartment in a gated street with nice finishes, great lighting, and close to the galleries and bars. Now, I have some friends who are forever coming over to Marvila for an art gallery opening, and I love that lifestyle. Here, you would just be able to walk from your home. Let's continue our walking tour. Over here, this says Amalia. So that's referencing the famous Fado singer. We're gonna cross the street here. Here comes the bus. We'll beat the bus. If Marvila has piqued your interest and you might like to look for your own little piece of warehouse, here, let's check up here. There. A fixer-upper or one that's already been fixed up, you want to be right here. Go ahead and reach out. We help people just like you every day find their perfect place in Lisbon. If this is your first time to visit our channel, go ahead and subscribe if you'd like to know all about properties and life in Lisbon. If you'd like to be the first to be notified about market changes or off-market properties, then go ahead and tap the bell so you will be the first to be notified.